Happening now, police expect to file charges following a Christmas Eve hit-and-run crash in Jamestown. The details straight ahead. Plus, the number of those hospitalized with COVID-19 in Chautauqua County has gone up.
Well, we have some peaks of sun out there for early this afternoon, but rain is going to be heading our way. Plus, we could be starting off 2021 icy. We'll talk about it next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. An update on a story we first brought you this morning. Jamestown police are in contact with the driver of a vehicle involved in a Christmas Eve hit-and-run crash. Police say the driver of the Dodge Nitro compact SUV that caused a crash just after 6 p.m. last Thursday on North Main Street near 6th Street has reached out to detectives, and officers will be filing charges soon. The vehicle, police say, was last seen on traffic cameras heading south on Forest and Newland Avenues. Investigators believe there may be blue paint transfer from the vehicle that was struck. The SUV also likely sustained heavy front, right corner, and side damage, along with wheel fender and headlight damage. Police say the driver made no attempt to stop following the collision. Officers, however, have not yet released the identity of the driver. The number of those hospitalized with COVID-19 in Chautauqua County increased yesterday as health leaders reported 81 new cases of the virus. The Chautauqua County Health Department reports there are now 38 hospitalizations, up from 35 over the weekend. Additionally, leaders say there are now 441 active countywide. Of those active cases, 125 are in the Jamestown area. The 7-day average percent positivity rate continued to increase, up from 8.7% to 9.7%. To date, there have been nearly 3,500 cases of the virus, with more than 3,000 people recovering and 29 deaths reported. Well, new coronavirus cases are soaring, hospitalizations surging, and the death toll mounting. But as bad as that is, Dr. Anthony Fauci says January will likely be worse. President-elect Joe Biden echoing that message now as he prepares to assume office against the backdrop of a raging pandemic. Our Nadia Romero is in Washington with the latest.
The next few weeks and months are going to be very tough.
As the U.S. suffers through the worsening coronavirus pandemic, President-elect Joe Biden is preparing to take office and warning Americans to brace for difficult weeks ahead.
We have to anticipate that the infections over the holidays will produce soaring cases counts in January and soaring death tolls into February.
Speaking in Delaware Tuesday, Biden laid out his administration's plans to take on the virus, including boosting the vaccine distribution effort and expanding testing.
After 10 months of the pandemic, we still don't have enough testing. It's a travesty. That's why I'll propose a COVID action package early next year and challenge Congress to act on it quickly.
Biden, urging unity, called on Americans to do their part by social distancing and wearing masks.
Masking has been a divisive issue in this country. But COVID is a killer in red states and blue states alike. So I encourage you all to wear a mask.
The incoming administration also hoping to lead by example to convince people to get the vaccine.
It's about saving your life, the life of your family members, and the life of your community.
Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris presenting a clear contrast to President Donald Trump, who has not spoken publicly about the pandemic in recent days and is facing criticism for a slower than promised vaccine rollout. In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Nadia, thank you. In response to Biden, President Trump on Twitter says the federal government brought vaccines to the states and it's up to them to pick up the distribution from there. Well, back here at home, in an effort to maximize access to COVID-19 vaccines, Tops Friendly Markets are partnering with federal health leaders to provide vaccinations to their customers. The distribution efforts will get underway during Phase 2 of vaccine rollout at Top Friendly Markets pharmacies like the one on Washington Street in Jamestown. Now, it's not clear when Phase 2 distribution will begin or when the vaccine will be widely available. In the meantime, though, pharmacists and pharmacy interns are working to get trained and certified through the American Pharmacists Association to give those immunizations. The partnership with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services is part of a larger distribution effort in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. On the last day of the week for us, a programming note, Dakota and I will be back next Monday following the New Year's holiday for tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. But in the meantime, you can check out local news all the time at WNYNewsNow.com. And if you download our mobile app, subscribe to breaking news push notifications, and we'll keep you in the know. Good to see Kimberly. Good to see Jennifer, Danielle, Tori, Karen, and Robin as well. Happy New Year to all of you. Thanks so much for tuning in to WNY News Now throughout 2020. And boy, it's been such a year, hasn't it? Well, now let's shift gears a bit and get to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by in the First Defense Weather Center. And Mr. Hunter, I see you have my pick up on the wall behind you. It was a really awesome sight last night if you got out and had a chance to see the moon.
Yes, it was. And it was a very interesting sight because this was what's called the cold moon, and it's the last full moon of 2020. So if you got out and saw it, we actually seen a few pictures that came in last night of the full moon. And of course, we want to thank you all for sending in your pictures and videos. We call you our weather eyes for a reason. You are our eyes to the outside world. And so, of course, you know, we always appreciate those. But again, this was over Randolph. And again, the last full moon of the year, the next full moon's not going to occur until January 28th of 2021. So if you're one of those people who howls at the moon, you got to wait until the end of January for that. This is a live look over Warren. You can see the snowpack there and mostly cloudy skies, but we do have a few peaks of sunshine peeking through early this afternoon, but rain is going to be on its way. 28 was the high yesterday. That's actually a bit below average to where we should be. We started the day at 19, 61, and 17 below zero, record highs and lows at the airport for this day. So through the afternoon, some peaks of sunshine early this afternoon. Rain showers develop west to east as the storm system moves to our north, milder. It becomes windy. There is a wind advisory in place until 4 p.m. For the western southern tier. 34 on the highest hills, 46 at the Lake Erie shoreline. Wind gusts could be near 50 miles an hour. Greatest chance for that is near the shoreline communities. Now, how is tomorrow looking as we wrap up the year? Plus, could we start the new year with some freezing rain? We'll give you what we know in just a few minutes. Justin?
All right, Dakota, we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you. Well, this just in, we want to update you on the COVID-19 pandemic. We're getting word that 3 new COVID-19 deaths have been reported today in Chautauqua County, along with 70 new cases of the virus. Our news team is in the newsroom, and we'll get an update online as soon as we can, but we figured we would pass that information on to you. And in regards to COVID-19, a lot of people are looking for financial relief too. President Trump signed the coronavirus relief bill over the weekend, hinting that he had secured promises from Congress would consider increasing the individual stimulus payment amount to $2,000. Well, the Treasury Department says direct payments of the $600 checks are scheduled to start going out yesterday electronically and today via the mail. The House has now passed a measure to increase the amount of those checks. Now it falls onto the Senate. As Reed Binion reports, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says there will be a vote, but Democrats say he's setting the bill up to fail.
Those are the 3 important subjects the president has linked together.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell laying out conditions for increasing the amount of direct coronavirus stimulus payments going to eligible Americans.
This week, the Senate will begin a process to bring these 3 priorities into focus.
Those priorities: increasing direct payments to $2,000, repealing liability protections for internet providers and tech companies like Facebook and Twitter, and setting up a commission to look into President Trump's baseless claims of voter fraud. It's those second and third provisions that Democrats say are, quote, poison pills designed to make the bill fail.
It's on the desk of Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader of the Senate. And what is he saying? I want to throw a few poison pills in there, see if I can discourage people from voting for this.
President Trump grudgingly signed the coronavirus relief package over the weekend. The House then passed a measure to increase payments to $2,000. But with the 2 so-called poison pill provisions McConnell is inserting, the check increase is all but doomed to fail, a move Democrats say was deliberate.
McConnell is intentionally trying to kill the $2,000 payments. We are not going to be able to pass a new piece of legislation with massively complicated complicated internet reform and a voter fraud commission in it.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Reed, thank you. Meanwhile, Congressman Tom Reed says he'll be holding governors throughout the country accountable in the wake of the recently passed stimulus package. Reed spoke during a call this morning with various stakeholders who could receive money as part of it. He explains that the Governors Association was able to find a loophole in regards to distributing aid to local areas. The congressman says that he's seeking to help from those stakeholders in keeping Governor Andrew Cuomo in check.
Please give us a heads up. We could use all of the efforts and our public pressure to make sure the governor doesn't do this to you again, because it's not right. The intention is not to have you guys suffer, especially in the educational domain. We want to make sure that the governor knows that we're watching and that we are going to hold him accountable for violating the spirit of this law.
Reed, however, says the work isn't done in Congress as he seeks to get more state and local aid in a future package. Well, straight ahead here, New York State updating its quarantine guidelines to reflect new recommendations from the CDC. But first, details on how state police have made an arrest of a Frewsburg man. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. A Frewsburg man was allegedly charged for driving while his ability was impaired by drugs following a traffic stop this week on Route 60 near Jamestown. New York State Police say 35-year-old Stephen Moeller was pulled over on 60 Sunday after troopers allegedly observed him make a traffic violation. Well, after failing several standardized field sobriety tests, troopers say Moeller was placed into custody. He was then taken to UPMC Chautauqua Hospital in Jamestown, where a blood sample was secured. He was then evaluated by a state police drug recognition expert who determined he was under the influence of marijuana. Troopers say Moeller was processed, issued appearance tickets, and released. He's scheduled to appear in the town of Ellicott court at a later date. Well, New York State has updated its quarantine guidelines to reflect new CDC recommendations. Now, instead of a 14-day quarantine, Governor Andrew Cuomo says people can now end their quarantine after 10 days, as long as no symptoms of COVID are reported. A test after 10 days is not required for someone to end their quarantine. After the quarantine, he says people still must monitor themselves for 14 days. This is all part of an effort to stop the spread of COVID from outside of the state.
If you look around the country, you've seen significant upticks in just the past couple of days. California went from to 13. Florida went from 8 to 11. Texas went from 2 to 9. New York went from 5.8 to 8.
If a traveler does develop symptoms, they're being told to contact their healthcare provider or call the local health department. Well, it happened after Thanksgiving, Labor Day, and Halloween. A surge in COVID-19 cases across the country, and now public health experts are bracing for another increase in them through the new year and beyond. Our Mandy Gaither with some more ways on how to ring in 2021 safely.
Over the last week, more than 7.1 million people were screened at TSA checkpoints despite CDC warnings to stay home for the holidays.
We could be rolling into February with the events of Christmas still impacting us, even with this vaccine coming out.
Now the concern has turned toward New Year's. The CDC says the safest way to celebrate is at home with people you live with or virtually with friends and family. The agency says travel and gatherings with those who don't live with you can increase your chances of getting and spreading COVID-19 or the flu. If you host a celebration or go to one, talk before the gathering to set expectations. Keep celebrations outdoors if possible. If indoors, open windows and doors. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces. Have guests bring their own food, drinks, plates, cups, and utensils. Keep background music volume low so guests don't need to shout, which may lessen airborne particles. Use single-use options like condiment packets and limit the number of guests. Some health experts suggest less than 10 people, and get a COVID test beforehand.
Your level of protection is as strong as your weakest link, and if you're a weak link, then the virus is going to spread.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. If you do decide to get away, the CDC says check travel restrictions, guidance, and resources before you go. They say consider getting a COVID test before and afterwards, and be sure to get your flu shot, wear a mask when around those you don't live with, and keep that mask over your nose and mouth. They say stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, and if driving, pack some food in order to limit stops. Well, check your stockings before you put them away for another year. One of the most popular gifts this holiday season has been a gift card. And according to the National Retail Federation's annual survey, 49% of people say they plan to purchase them between 3 and 4 this year. The survey expects customers to spend a total of $27.5 billion on gift cards. But some of that money tends to go to waste. Another survey found that 25% of adults let their gift cards expire and 22% end up losing them. So to ensure that doesn't happen, the Federal Trade Commission encourages people to use their gift cards as soon as they can and treat them like cash. Also make sure you read the fine print to see if there's location restrictions or those expiration dates. And if you have an unwanted gift card, you could sell it for cash or trade it in to get another one online. Well, certainly I have a pretty funny gift card story to share, Dakota, and I know we only have a few minutes before we get to weather. But over the holiday, and I don't want to be too specific, but someone I know purchased a gift card for someone they know. I can't be specific because I'll get myself into trouble.
Just go rogue.
But the whole idea is they had this gift card as like an extra gift, right? So they already had a gift that they purchased for them, and they just felt like they needed something extra. Well, they forgot the gift card when it was time to share gifts this Christmas. And now they're going to more than likely use that gift card themselves because it's too late to give the gift.
Right.
Do you think they should still give it, or should they just use it?
Well, I don't know. Because to me, it's like, oh, there we go. To me, it's like, I don't see anything wrong with a late gift.
Yeah. Like, oops, I forgot it, here it is.
Right. Because, I mean, it's because it happens, and, especially like this year. I mean, we're all running around like
crazy anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Like a chicken with its head cut off. That's kind of like what we're running around with. And so, in a way, it could be understandable that you forgot it. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's up to each their own, I guess.
Right. Whether they want to give it or they already gave a nice gift, so it's not like it's needed per se.
Right.
But, you forget the card.
Right, but it also goes to morals.
Right.
I guess, because it's like, well,
You
I bought
purchased
this
that
gift card
for
as
them.
a
It's still your
gift.
money, but-
Should I still give it?
Right.
And you've got like the evil and, what is it, the evil and nice on your shoulder?
Yeah, the angel and the devil.
Hey, keep it. No, give it away.
Let us know in the comments. I'll need your advice on this one, and I'll pass it along to my friend. So, well, a lot of people, Dakota, they'll be looking to you for some advice, because I know earlier in the week it was mentioned that we could see some weather activity over the New Year's holiday, and now that we're ticking down to it, I'm sure you have some more clarity on it.
Yes, we do. And we wanted to start off with snowfall first, kind of give you a comparison to where we are through the season compared to last year. So through the season, that's basically starts since October. 21 inches of snow at the airport. We should be at 30.9 inches. That's almost 10 inches below normal here. And last year, we're right around where we were last year, 21.2. We're at 21.0 right now for the year. So we're running pretty much close to where we were last year. 37 degrees at the Jamestown airport, but it is windy. South wind to 15. We've seen the DoubleTree camera kind of bouncing a little bit, but the wind chill down to 28. So even though the air temperature is going to be close to 40 today, it's going to be likely in the lower 30s across much of the region. You can see it here. 19 is what it feels like right now in Warren, 30 in Mayville, 30 Clymer, 24 Harbor Creek, and 36 in Erie. So dress for numbers closer to that, not temperatures in the upper 30s to lower 40s. We have a wind advisory that is in place for Chautauqua County. This goes until 4 o'clock this afternoon. The strongest winds are going to be right near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, where you could see wind gusts possibly up to 60 miles an hour at times. The satellite and radar shows you the storm system that's actually going to be impacting the region over the next couple of days. The actual center of the storm is way down here in Texas, but you can see this line of moisture extending up along with that north to northwest wind flow aloft, which is helping to continue to bring in some of that cooler air, but the wind has actually started to shift more to the south now with the impending storm. So let's take you through a future scan. It shows you dry through the early afternoon, then rain showers are going to be overspreading throughout the region. They're not going to be anything too heavy, but it is going to be some rain showers, and then as colder air filters in again, we're actually going to change all this back over to snow once again through the overnight hours, and the best chance of precipitation tomorrow is going to be in the morning, then it clears out for the afternoon. Tomorrow should look nice for the ball drop as well, and we'll give you the ball drop forecast here in just a second. But this is one of the longer range computer models on FutureScan, because Friday starts 2021, and we could be bringing it in with some frozen precipitation here. So this is by the afternoon hours on Friday. This pink area is a mixture of sleet, maybe some freezing rain, and some of the model guidance does suggest we could see some accumulating freezing rain, which is ice. And you know, whenever we have that in the forecast, that's always almost a red alarm for road conditions, because we need, well, it's kind of like a magic number. A quarter of an inch of ice is enough to really slicken up the roadways and cause some power outages with the weight of the ice on trees and power lines. I don't think we're going to get that much, but there could be some light icing, especially through the day on Friday. So watch out for that if you're going to be commuting on New Year's Day. Just keep an eye out for that it could turn rather slick. New Year's Eve forecast, the ball drop is still going to happen in downtown Buffalo. The ball is still going to be coming down from atop Electric Tower in downtown. So at 11:59, as the ball is coming down, mostly cloudy, 27 degrees, no weather hassles in Buffalo. Of course, you can't go to the ball drop this year, but it will be televised. So as we ring in a new year. Now, the final time in 2020. The next 7 days of your life, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 32 tomorrow, just a few scattered snow showers in the morning. 38 on New Year's Day. Again, some icing could be possible, especially early in the day. The weekend, Saturday, 44, wet and mild though. We're down a little bit on Sunday, 35. And the first full new week of 2021 looks like it's going to start dry and a little bit milder as well. We'll take a break and be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smokin' deals on smokin' accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Well, do you think you have good taste in music? Well, others might tend to disagree. Now, you can validate that. Find out if it's totally cringeworthy thanks to a new robot. This AI is billing itself as a sophisticated bot, and it's thanks to a digital publication called Pudding. Now, if you give How Bad Is Your Spotify permission to access your account, it'll analyze your choices and offer thoughts on your music taste. If the bot sees too much music from a certain artist, it will promptly let you know. It will also react to some of your most played music, asking you if you're okay, and label your taste in music with categories like trying too hard or even embarrassing. Many people are starting to share their How Bad Is Your Spotify results on social media, even if they get roasted in the process. Well, happening today in New York City, they're preparing for the ball drop in Times Square. Here's a live look over the Big Apple, where instead of getting ready for thousands, the NYPD is busy shutting down the streets and subway entrances due to the pandemic. Well, police tweeted out this photo of all of the road closures that will begin taking place today into tomorrow. This year, no one will be allowed near Times Square to watch the ball drop in person. Instead, they're offering virtual viewings of performances in the iconic ball drop at midnight. Well, speaking of the new year in New York, ready to say goodbye to 2020? Well, there are several New Yorkers who are.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Wow, look at it go! Oh my golly! It's flying south! It's coming around! It's a whirlwind of confetti!
Okay, so they're really just practicing the confetti drop for New Year's Eve in Times Square, but what a moment to look forward to, right? They're testing out the airworthiness of the confetti. Yeah, it's a real thing. Even though the celebration isn't open to the public this year, it'll all be virtual with some socially distant entertainment. The multicolored confetti will be there in full force too. 2,000 pounds of it will rain down when the ball drops down to midnight. It looks pretty cool, Dakota, but I feel like the lack of people kind of takes it away a little bit, because that's really what I look forward to, is everybody's reaction.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's going to be a whole lot different watching the ball drop and not watching all those drunk people in the in the audience, you know, making fools of themselves on international television.
But nevertheless, the confetti will still be there, which, you know, I guess is all part of the show, right? You're still going to have the TV cameras.
Just scream at home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
When the clock hits double zeros and that ball comes down, just scream at home. It's okay.
Call me an old person, but I actually might just sleep it off. Like, I might just go to bed.
Oh, Justin.
What are you guys doing for
You're getting too old.
New Year's? Let me know in the comments.
Justin's going to be like Grandpa Lou from the Rugrats.
Yeah.
He's going to sit in front of the TV with a bottle of eggnog and fall asleep.
It's not a bad time, actually. Speaking from experience. It's great to see Barbara. Good to see Kenneth, Samantha, and Teresa. Let us know what you guys are doing today in the comments down below, what you have planned for New Year's. Again, programming note for Dakota and I. We'll be back in 2021 next Monday with our regularly scheduled programming. From then on, we're over with our holiday programming. So tomorrow and Friday, you can check out news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. And of course, anytime that we're away, the news continues. And it's available on our mobile app and on our website. So we appreciate you tuning in and supporting us for 21. Dakota, real quick, I want to ask you, what is going to be your New Year's resolution?
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
Nope.
I think for me, take more time for Justin, which the producer reminded me before the segment here that was my resolution last year. So I guess that's what it'll be forever, right?
Well, hey, you know, if your New Year's resolution was busted because of COVID, You get a free do-it-over card.
Right,
for this
exactly.
Year, so.
2021 is just a do-over.
Of what
Hopefully,
2020 should have been.
Right.
We're a year behind ourselves, people.
Hopefully we can make some really great progress come 2021, and we'll be there right along with all of you to tell the stories of the local community. And that's it for us.
Nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. We're going to bed.
Justin might be.
I might be.
But the weather people never sleep.
No, Dakota doesn't sleep. I hope in 2021, my wish for 2021 would be that we can finally get back to some in-person stuff. That's the thing. This whole virtual, like Dakota and I are 6 feet apart, obviously. It's not like I don't see him, but like we have this awesome new set that we don't get to play with. That's what makes me sad. But
we have all these toys that we haven't really used.
And nothing happens. Well, they're cutting us off. See you next year.